Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about winter skin, dry skin foundation routine. So this is the final look that we did today. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. I myself do have very dry skin, so hopefully this is a video that is beneficial to somebody out there who also deals with the dry skin struggle. So if you want to know how I created this very simple everyday dry skin foundation look, keep on watching. Alright, so what we're going to do to get started is obviously, as you can tell, I already did my eyeliner, so I didn't really want to do that on camera. We're gonna save that for another video. So for foundation, I talk about this a lot if you follow me on Instagram. This is one of my favorite foundations ever if you have dry skin. So what I'm using right now, I'll show you. I actually have two colors because it depends if I have a spray tan or if I'm pale, like right now. So my darker shade is going to be the 207. This is like my spray tan shade. And then right now for the winter time, I'm actually using 202. This is more of a fair shade and has been working for me right now. It's always sad when you have to go down to your winter colors, but it is what it is. I have used so many high-end foundations. The Hourglass sticks, Cover FX, Kat Von D, Armani, like all of the good ones, right? Like all the ones that we hear about. I'm telling you, this one is just as good. You can get it at CVS, Walgreens, Target, Ulta, like everywhere that sells like drugstore beauty. So do yourself a favor and get the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow if you have dry skin. For the oily skinned girls, they do have a pro matte version, which is bomb. I used that before I was like, realized that I have dry skin and should probably not use a matte foundation. And I was obsessed. So if you have oily skin, definitely try the pro matte version. You will die. Okay, so I just kind of at the beginning want to show the products in case anyone doesn't want to make it to the end of this video and you just want to see what I'm using. So the other product that we are going to use, so we have our foundation, and then for concealer, like I said, most of this is going to be a drugstore video because I have so many good drugstore beauty products that, like, why buy expensive if you can get something just as good? So one of the non-drugstore products that we are going to be using in this video, I used it in my last video, is the NARS Creamy Concealer. I do really love this one. So we are going to use a little bit of this. I do use two concealers when I do my makeup. So the other concealer, this is a holy grail in my hands. Like, you are not going to believe it when you buy it and try it, because you will, I promise. This is the Maybelline Master Conceal. It's bomb. Like, for a drugstore concealer, it is unreal, like, coverage, and it's so cheap. I actually just got it off of Amazon. This one was delivered last night. I have multiple shades in this concealer as well. It was like $6 on Amazon, which I live in California, so our sales tax and where I live in California is like unreal. So I got this on Amazon and I was like, So Maybelline Master Conceal, it's very comparable to like Shape Tape. Anyway, so we'll show it later. I'm getting ahead of myself. And then for contour, I just recently started to cream contour, which is exciting. And what I've been using is the LA Girl Pro Conceal. So I'm actually using a really dark concealer for my cream contour. Sorry. And it's been working amazing. So we'll show this later. So yeah, as far as like face products, those are the drugstore products that we are going to be using today. Okay, so next let's talk about skincare. All right, so what I've been using for skincare, and with you have dry skin, skincare is like obviously insanely important, especially in the winter. I went to an event for Sephora called Sephoria in LA. It was like kind of like an immersive, interactive brand experience. Incredible. If it happens again next year, I highly recommend getting tickets and going. I left with like $600 of free makeup from all different brands in Sephora. It was amazing. Anyways, I'm talking too much. Okay, so one of the products that I got to try from Sephora, it is called the Belief Aqua Bomb Night Mask. Insane. Like, I used this last night and it literally forms like a water seal on your face. It's so hard to explain the feeling, but like truly it feels like you have this like liquidy mask on your face, but you just have to try it. And then in the morning you wake up and you kind of just like roll it off your face, and it kind of just gets all the little dead skin cells off. The other product that I swear by that I'm actually going to go ahead and put on my face while we're chatting so it can start to dry before I do my makeup is the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drench. This, I have not, I just don't even have words. I'm almost out, as you can see. Well, maybe it looks full. It's all white on the inside, so probably looks full. If you could literally pick up water, like just like pick it up with your hands, it's this product. Like, it is amazing. This much is too much. Like, honestly, that is plenty. This will do my whole face and my neck. It is so good for dry skin. It feels kind of like a serum. Like right now, I wish you guys could feel it. It feels wet. Like, it just feels like I'm pushing water on my skin. I do this before I do my foundation, kind of as a primer, honestly. I do use primers like 100%. Like, Too Faced Hangover Primer is amazing. But sometimes if you have dry skin, a thick primer like Benefit Professional or something like that, it's too heavy. Like, it's too heavy for dry skin. So I try to do something light and moisturizing like the water drench. And for foundation, like I said, we are going to be using the L'Oreal Pro Glow. And I feel so weird without makeup on. Like, I'm just like, oh. And what I use to apply my foundation first is the IT Cosmetics. It's the double-ended brush for foundation and concealer. IT Cosmetics gave this to me at a training that I was at with them when my company was launching their products. So it is a little pricey as far as, you know, like a foundation brush. I think it retails for about like $44 or something like that, but it is so amazing. The bristles are actually like sewn way down into the bottom so they don't fall out, which is really nice. And I know other companies that are a little bit cheaper, that's sometimes the feedback is that the bristles fall out. Those do not. So what I'm gonna do, how I do my foundation, now that the water drench is on, it kind of dries down to like a satin finish. I just put my foundation on kind of like that. That's it. Like, I just do like 3 little lines always on a brush, and I just kind of do little circles. Oh my god, I forgot to turn my work email off. Sorry. Okay, normally I do not do my eye makeup first. I normally do it afterwards. And I'll film a video later of like my actual routine, but for now. And I always drag it down onto my neck. It's hard to do your makeup first. Your eye makeup first. Sorry, I could not see in my other little mirror. And again, down the neck. And I kind of like push it over my lips, which looks so stupid right now on camera, so I'm gonna have to wipe it off. It's like my lips disappeared. Okay. Ooh, that hurt. Okay. So we've got that, and then on to the big forehead. And I have not done my brows, so I'm not like worried about messing up my brows at all. Oh, thank God I turned off my email because they are rolling in right now. I'm filming this on a Monday, and I happen to be off work, but the rest of the world is not. Alright, so once I'm done with my brush, just kind of spreading that foundation around on my face, I do take my beauty blender. Yes, I know it needs to be cleaned. And I just, obviously it's wet, I just bounce the beauty blender all over my face to push in the product. Sorry if that was out of focus. All right, just like that. So it is, like I said, well, let me also start by saying I really don't have I don't have acne. I was blessed by genetics to not have acne. So if you maybe do have acne or maybe like another kind of skin issue that you struggle with, this foundation in the Glow version, it is great coverage. Like, it's very beautiful coverage. But if you maybe are really trying to cover something up, you might want to try the Pro Matte version and maybe mix them together even for like full coverage. I would not call this full coverage foundation because again, when you have dry skin, you don't want something that's like full coverage. It's going to make you look even more dry. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. Alright, so now we're going to use the NARS Creamy Concealer. This is very light. I said this in my last video. It's the lightest shade that they have. And I'm not going to use this all over. I just want a little bit under my eye, like right under my eye, a little bit, to really brighten up directly under my eye. And then I'm going to take a shade darker of concealer in just a second and put that a little, and like create the triangle at the bottom, just so it's kind of like a very natural, gradual ombre effect. And I'm going to put a little bit down the center of my nose. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit on there for just a second and warm up. And while we do that, I am going to take my Pro Conceal and we're going to start contouring. So I'm almost out of this. I just ordered a little bit more. It should be here in a couple of days. I learned how to cream contour only a couple of days ago. Well, maybe like a week or so ago. And if you followed me on Instagram, you saw my trial and error of that. I learned very quickly that less is more. So anyways, so I start off by doing a couple of small lines on my forehead. And then I go in on my cheekbone, like, and I suck in my cheeks to find the cheekbone first, like this. Right there. And I put it a little bit under my cheekbone as well. Okay, so we have the 2 cheeks going. I'm gonna hold my hair back for this really quickly. I do a little bit on my chin, under my lip, and then my jawline. When you do your jawline, you want to go underneath the jawline, not like on the jawline, because really all you're trying to do is accentuate the shadow. Like that. Just accentuate like the underneath shadow. You're not trying to draw it on top. So that's all the product that I use for cream contouring. And then what I learned is that it is all about the brush. Like, oh my god. So I got an incredible cream contour brush at the Morphe store. 10 out of 10 recommend. It is the Morphe E8. So it is a small, tapered, kind of fluffy brush. and it has been so amazing for cream contouring. Like, I just don't even have the words. Okay, so I'm gonna pull my hair up like just in my hand for 1 second while I do my forehead and my neck and my cheeks. So I actually start off by doing my jawline first. And what I do is I actually brush it down, like in downward little motions, but right underneath the jawline, and then down my neck. Because also at the very end, oh, look at that shadow already. Ching, ching. This is like not autofocusing very well. That was my stomach, sorry. Okay, so now that the jawline is snatched, I am going to just lightly blend that in under my lip. And then onto the forehead. So what I'm doing now is I am barely pushing in, because what you don't want to do is separate your foundation by pushing your contour in too hard, like blending it in too hard and like separating the color. Ooh, this looks really dark on camera. Don't freak out. I promise in person, and by the end of this, it's all blended. And then I kind of just push in the product. Like, as you can see, I'm obviously just like tapping it in. And then for the cheekbones, so I actually leave it very heavily contoured at the very beginning, because I will push my concealer into it. So again, trust the process. All right, so it looks crazy until it's done. I'm actually gonna keep my hair pulled back for just a minute, because I feel like it's getting in the way. I'm also sweating. It is so hot right now in my house. Shoot, that was way too much. But I can't turn my fan on while I do my videos, because I feel like you're probably gonna be able to hear it. The struggle. Okay, so I put way too much on this little side, so I put a little bit on my brush, and I'm just gonna disperse that product on my face. So I put a little bit on my forehead, and then, like I said, I blend the two concealers in together, and I create that triangle downward. On the nose already. I feel like in my videos that I'm like being way too educational. Like, should I talk about other stuff instead of being like, do this and then do that? I don't know. You guys tell me. All right, now, pro tip, if you have a big forehead like me, you don't want a lot of brightness because then make it look bigger. So I just do a little bit of concealer in the middle of my forehead. But if you have a tiny forehead, you can do more concealer and less contour. Okay, so like I said, we are going to go in with my Beauty Blender now and blend in that concealer. Cream contouring is what I have found the best for dry skin. Obviously with dry skin, the less powder products the better. And I do touch up my contour at the very end with some powder contour if like I feel like it faded out a little bit, but overall I try to leave it as creamy as possible. Then I'm just going to trace under that contour with just the excess concealer that's on my brush. And then do a little bit on the forehead. All right, now I'm going back in with the foundation and like wider part of my beauty blender and blending the two shades in together, and this is where this is going to disappear. So I just kind of lightly tap upward to blend those in, and then I tap down on that harsh line to soften that up as well. So it kind of starts to look like that, and then once I do my highlight in just a second, you will see exactly how it all comes together. Okay. Let me just like that. Now, the other part to this is I take the other side of my beauty blender that I don't use for concealer, and I dip it into a very secret concoction of setting powders that have changed my life. And with the wet beauty blender, I pack on just a little bit of powder. This is going to set that concealer in place. Even if you have dry skin, you do still want to set your makeup, only because, you know, during the day, if you're rubbing it, if you're touching it, it will start to, you know, come off easier. So I take just a little bit of powder and I let that sit for minimal time. Again, if you have dry skin, you don't need to bake. Baking obviously is like you leave the powder on for like a long time. Normally if you have oily skin, because it will help your makeup stay all day, we are the opposite. So I just let it set for just a second and I'm already dusting it off. But it does help create just like a very poreless, kind of smooth under eye moment. As you can see, it's very soft. And then I'm going to dust away that little bit right at the top. Alright, now we're going to move on to highlighters. I just got this amazing new highlighter from Morphe. It is one of their singles and it is in the color Extra. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little brush that I got from Morphe in a set. It's like this. This is my highlighter brush. I am going to spray it with setting spray, just a little bit, and then I'm going to take it into the highlighter. I'm going to take my highlighter and put it just on the tips. I don't know if you can see that, but maybe. Just like right here. It's a very nice, soft, subtle glow. Just like that. And then I'm going to take a hidden gem that I've recently refound. It is Bare Minerals Hint. It is a beautiful, beautiful kind of pink blush highlighter that I top off my cheeks with. Just like that. Oh, that was too much. Just like that. All right, now what I'm going to do is contour my nose off camera because that is also another video, and I will be right back. All right, so I contoured my nose off camera. I did my lipstick and I put my fake lashes on. So the other product that I did want to show you really quickly to just kind of top off the glowy makeup routine is my setting spray. I've been using the MAC Fix Plus with Pink Light Reflective. So it has this really pretty pink shine to it. You can kind of see a lot of it's at the bottom of the bottle right now. You just got to shake it up. And I just spray this all over my face, obviously let it dry, and it just gives you such a glowy, hydrated look, which obviously is what we're going for. So highly recommend this setting spray. All right, so now that we are finished, this is the final look. Very fresh and glowy, which is exactly what we want. It also feels light on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy, which is great if you do have dry skin. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Of course, if you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see or things for me to talk about, just comment down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.